The Basters, also known as Basters, Rehobothers, or Rehoboth Basters, are a southern African ethnic group descended from Cape Coloreds and Nama of Khoisan origin. Since the second half of the 19th century, the Rehoboth Baster community has been concentrated in central Namibia in and around the town of Rehoboth. Basters are closely related to Afrikaners, Cape Coloreds, and Griquas of South Africa and Namibia, with whom they share a language and culture. They are also related to the local Nama, with the Rehoboth Basters being considered a Nama clan by many, having a Kaptein, meaning clan chief, just like many Nama settlements in southern Namibia. Other people of similar ethnic origin, living chiefly in the northern Cape of South Africa, also call themselves Basters. While some people consider this term demeaning, the Basters reappropriated it as a proud name, claiming their ancestry and history, treating it as a cultural category in spite of the negative connotation. Their seventh Kaptein is Jackie Brits, elected in 2021. He has no official status under the Namibian constitution. The Chiefs Council of Rehoboth was replaced with a local town council under the new government. Sometimes they were treated almost as members of the white family. Many were descended from white men, if not directly from men in the families for whom they worked. In the early 18th century, Basters often owned farms in the colony, but with growing competition for land and the pressure of race discrimination, they were oppressed by their white neighbors and the government. Some became absorbed into the colored servant class, but those seeking to maintain independence moved to the fringes of settlement. From about 1750, the Kamisberge in the extreme northwest of the colony became the main area of settlement of independent Baster farmers, some of whom had substantial followings of servants and clients. After about 1780, increasing competition and oppression from whites in this area resulted in the majority of the Baster families moving to the frontier of the interior. They settled in the middle valley of the Orange River, where they settled near Detuin. Basters of the Middle Orange were subsequently persuaded by London Missionary Society missionaries to adopt the name Griqua. Some sources say they chose the name themselves in honor of an early leader. The whites pushed Basters out of the Detuin area. They started moving by wagons and taking large herds of livestock, with many Basters trying to reach the mountains. German attacks against Basters took place around the region. According to Baster history, a 14-year-old Baster girl, who worked for the Germans in a camp, overheard a drunken conversation about their planned attack against the Basters. She took the word to the Kaptein, and around 700 Basters retreated to Sam Kubis, 80 kilometers southeast of Rehoboth in the mountains, to prepare for German attack. This group included women and children. Van Wyck had hidden his wife and children at Farm Gary's, along with the wives and children of Stoffel and Willem Van Wyck. Stoffel's wife, 2 children, an adult daughter of Cornelius Van Wyck, and his 18-year-old son, were all killed there. The others, including Van Wyck's wife Sarah, were taken to Leutwein Station and released on the 13th of May. On the 8th of May 1915, the Germans attacked in the Battle of Sam Kubis, where the stronghold was defended by 700 to 800 Basters. Despite repeated attacks and the use of 2 cannons and 3 Maxim machine guns, the Germans were unable to destroy the Basters' position. They ended the attack at sunset. At the end of the day, Basters ran out of ammunition and expected defeat. That night they appealed to God, pledging to commemorate the day forever should they be spared. Their prayer is engraved on a memorial plaque they later installed at Sam Kubis and reads, "God our Father, strong and powerful, holy be thy name all over the earth. Thou that made heaven, bow thou down to us. Listen to the cries of thy children. Death stares us in the face. The children of evil seek our lives. Save us from the hand of our enemies, and protect our wives and children. And this shall be for us and our kin a day like a Sunday, on which we shall praise thy name, and thy gratitude shall not be forgotten in eternity." After that, the Germans received orders to retreat, which they did the next morning. Rehoboth Basters community survived. This day is celebrated annually by Basters as integral to their history and fortitude. Both units of the Germans were ordered to retreat in order to mobilize against advancing South African troops, which reached Rehoboth. As Basters returned to Rehoboth, some killed Germans on their farms. The Germans posted some forces for protection, but withdrew them on the 23rd of May as the South Africans approached. As preparations were underway for Sam Kubis Day in 2006, a respected social worker, Hetty Rose Junius, asked the organizing committee to consider inviting a delegation from the Nama-speaking people to that year's festivities and in future. The chairperson rejected the suggestion by saying that, historically, the Nama had a separate fight with the Germans and were not involved with the Basters. Activities on this day include a reenactment of the attack on the Basters in 1915, a flag-raising, wreath-laying, and a church service. Their first captain was Hermanus van Wyck, the Moses of the Bastar Nation, who led the community to Rehoboth from South Africa. He served as captain until his death in 1905. After his death, the German colonial government established a separate council. The Rehoboth Basters did not elect another captain until the United Kingdom took over the territory as a British protectorate in 1914 during the First World War. Basters elected Cornelius van Wyck as captain. He was not officially recognized by the South African authorities, which administered the territory from 1915 to Namibian independence in 1990.